G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be reviewing the game which is between Geelong and Collingwood. A tough night at the office for the Cats to open up the 2023 campaign, going down by 22 points to the Pies in what was a ferocious affair and quite a high scoring game as well, which was good to see, definitely from a neutral perspective. Don't know how Scott and McRae would think on the scoreboard, but it was quite an entertaining game, and definitely for the neutral fans. Probably not so much for Cats fans who didn't really get the result we're after. Just sort of running out of gas in the end there. And definitely some flaws early on with how we go about it, but I'm pretty confident that as the season goes on, we'll play a better footy towards the end of the season. That's the hope anyway. I mean, we started off last year with house on fire, winning by 10, 11 goals against the Bombers. But yeah, it was a tough night for the Cats, and especially in the clinches at the coalface. We just weren't really a match for the Pies, and the numbers might reflect different. But being at the game, it definitely felt like the Pies had a fair bit of control and had real dangerous looks when they did go forward. It was probably evident in the end when we did run out of gas that it was a fair bit of accuracy that actually kept us, I suppose, at arm's length from the Pies, and that definitely gave us some ascendancy by taking our chances, and we did get some good looks, and the Pies gave us some good looks sort of with our play, but ultimately fell pretty short in the midfield stocks, and just that run off halfback was insane, and the Pies, they saw blood in the water, and they got it, just to take Lethal's line and McRae's line. I mean, they play very similar to how they did the last couple of times we played them, where they'll always take the game on, and it's footy that wins finals. It stacks up, and it was a kick in it between us and the Pies, and also the Swans. There's a point in it away from home, so their game plan works. They definitely give you some looks with the way they defend, but also their attack is quite devastating when they do move it pretty quickly. And I mean, quite simply, it was the Pies working much harder than we were. That's why you saw more Magpies around the footy than Cats players, which was it was frustrating watching on, just going, where are we? And the ground ball as well was post contested ball was sort of lacking as well, definitely from our side. So we looked a little bit gassed, we looked a little bit tired. And probably the way we moved the ball wasn't really how we wanted to go about it either. There was lots of long kicks down the line. That to me means generally two things. It means A, Collingwood's defending really well and working really hard, and B, we're not working hard enough to make space and try and present some options. But with the way they defended, it didn't really give us a great look to sort of move it from one end to the other. We did struggle to move out of the back line, and it was lots of long kicks, a few notable injuries as well. But I mean, if you have Stewart and DK at full health still, I don't think the result's any different. Maybe the scoreboard might be a little bit closer from the Pies perspective, but I mean, we were clearly outplayed, and just left wanting. Like, we gave the Pies way too much time and space with the ball. We didn't pressure them enough. We allowed the players to sort of get space and run off, and they had free targets moving forward. So when you've got that, like, your back lines, it's as good as the pressure from basically all lines really, but especially our midfield, and as sort of discussed, the midfield side of the equation wasn't up to speed last night watching on. There was lots of interesting moments and pivotal moments throughout the night, but I mean, in that last quarter, we just couldn't get it inside 50 because we couldn't win the ball. It was stuck in our back half. That's kudos to the Pies pressure, but also, we just weren't able to. We just didn't have the energy. The Pies had, they were feeding off each other. Just this intangible, energy and spark that they had about them. I had tipped Geelong during the week, but then as the week went on, I'd changed my tip about an hour before the game to the Pies. I was thinking, well, we'll need Cameron and Hawke to play a full game, and they'll need to be at 100%. And then I thought, but Cameron could leave at halftime, all sorts of things. So I changed my tip to the Pies late. I very rarely change tips. Once I do, but I hopefully sit pretty level-headed with this. It definitely helps when you win a premiership, and you don't have that expectation of we have to be on our game 100% of the time. But I mean, we'll want to beat Carlton for sure. You don't want to be 0-2 early in the season, and I'm reasonably comfortable that we've got the the cattle to do it. We're going to have to be playing a lot better than we did against the Pies, though. Full credit to Collingwood, really. Like they took the game on. They were daring. They worked really hard. Their pressure was, they gave us no time and space, and not many teams would be able to withstand it. And we saw, the couple of times we played them last year, Collingwood probably had more of the momentum, but we potentially took more of the bigger moments and stood up when we had to. And I view that as an unsustainable way to keep beating a side. If you play the Pies 10 times with the way we played the last 3 or so times, you might win 5 to 7 out of 10, and you're going to lose 3 and 3 or 4. But look, they're a really good side. They'll be right there again this year. I've had them just outside the top 4, thinking they might dip out a little bit. They're looking a top 2, top 4 side at the moment. Clearly, it's round 1, and a team without much energy, a little bit out of gas, versus a team with a lot of speed. It's polar opposites at times, and as you can see from our side, we had control of the scoreboard for a fair chunk of the game. So it's not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Where we did get good looks, we were able to. When we did get inside 50, we scored 1 out of every 2 times. So it was quite open. We were quite dangerous when we did get it there. Collingwood just got in there more, and they were more dangerous. They had more to play, ultimately. As we could see there, we'd often get out to 3 or 4 goals. The moment we got out to 3 or 4 goals, Pies would kick a few. And goals in red time were absolute kills. We can see 3 here. I think there was about 8 or so in the last 5 minutes of each quarter, accumulatively. So, good there. You don't want to be... Those goals in red time are like worth 1.5, 2 goals. That's a wrap-up of the analysis of the game. Some more stats for some more analysis. High-level overview. Now into the nitty-gritty numbers. So, the Pies clearly got more of the footy and definitely hurt us on the outside. We can see that, more use by hand and foot. And their handball game was devastating. We weren't able to sort of keep up with the link and chain that they had going. It's going to be tough to win a lot of games with 46 inside 50s too. And when you only have 4 in the last quarter, I believe Scotty mentioned, it's going to be tough to win. And if you kick, 4 points or whatever we kicked in the final term, we didn't kick a goal. So you're not going to win many games like that either unless you have a big lead. Even then, no guarantees. Depending on numbers, Pies got it in there a lot. We generally wouldn't concede that kind of number. And I think it's the biggest score we've conceded since the preliminary final when it was the exact same scoreline conceded against. But it was a bit of a sieve down back, but that's not necessarily the backman's fault. It's more so just the inability of the forward line and the midfield not applying enough pressure and not working hard enough. That's where it comes down to. The back line's as good as that. As good as the side allows it to be. From a disposal efficiency perspective, we saw lots of pressure from the Pies, and they were able to again stifle our ball movement, not really allow us to have the game on our terms, especially late. And when you have that kind of pressure versus not as much pressure, that's the difference there. You get more cleanliness and composure. So. Efficiency inside 50, though, was good from our side. We were definitely efficient and incredibly accurate. 16-1 is the stuff that you dream about. The Pies are also super dangerous whenever they got inside 50 there. It was just one of those games where whichever team got field position and got ball movement inside 50, it was just open. So, it was interesting how that all transpired. The free kick count, the Pies got a few more there, not a significant amount. Hit outs, they got a bit more of. Clearances, this number doesn't really make sense. I mean, there's clearances and clearances. We probably got the first possession, but then it was impacted by the Pies' pressure, I reckon, more often than not. Centre clearances, it felt like Collingwood got maybe early on we did better in the clearances, and then it just felt like twice as worse when we were losing clearances in the final term when we actually needed them, and it felt like we just couldn't get one. But at the stoppages, yeah, clearly that number was pretty well representative on the night where we just couldn't find the ball. And I don't know why Bruin was on the wing, but Dangerfield was also on the wing at times. Definitely need him in the guts more. Probably talk about that a bit later with the players. Contested ball, yeah, the Pies were able to get the job done there, and this is probably the bit this is the game right here. So, I mean, 63 on the outside definitely hurts, especially with the way they were moving the ball. Probably, though, that stat there combined with the marks, just we could not get control of the ball. We don't mind a bit of chaos these days, but we weren't able to, yeah, it was lots of long kicks down the line, and you can't be relying on that that's not going to cut the mustard. And we saw the Pies, 105 marks. They were just, they just had players out everywhere, and they just worked, again, so much harder than we did. Marks inside 50, we did get it. I didn't think we got that many, but we definitely don't normally concede 16, and they had, lots of shots, 19 goals, 11 out of that. Lots of, scores off the deck as well. Contested marks, well, only because we won a lot of those in the air, and they probably had less contested marks inside 50 because they would just have players out. And, really menacing ball movement. And, it's interesting. Like, we're in front for probably about, you can see there, about 3/4 of it. 2.5, 3/4 of it. Right in between. 2 3/4, platform 9 3/4. And, the Pies definitely put the gas down late, and we ran out of gas. That's fair enough. And, tackle numbers as well. So they... they had 60 more possessions, and they also had 8 more tackles than we did. That's a mindset, and that is working incredibly hard. If you're not getting as much of the ball, you should be tackling more because you don't have the ball. But the Pies tackled more than we did, and we had less of the ball than they did. Interestingly, very interesting stat there. That's Pies more disposals plus more tackles equals very, very hard work rate and mediocre from Geelong in that sense. Tackles inside 50, Pies doubled us there. Their pressure was really good and didn't really allow us out. It was contagious. Very contagious indeed. Interchanges, how are they looking? That's significant. All of them used up for us. The votes are really tough. Maybe if watching on telly might be easier, but even with the votes I do have in mind, I don't really... I'm not really sold on them. There was a lot of players that played really well in bursts, but didn't play 4 quarters. That's going to be kind of, just on the run here. But Isaac Smith, I felt like when he had some influence on the game throughout, definitely helped us a fair bit. Loves a kick, as we can see. 6 marks, kicked a goal assist as well, and gained a lot of territory for us. Like more than any of the next player. I think it might have been Tui. Yes, Zach Tui would have been next on the list. Jeremy Cameron, definitely not his best game in the world, but still valuable in the way he went about it. Didn't really want to handball too much there. A couple of goals. We didn't handball a lot. Probably hurt us a little bit as we just kicked long down the line all night. Kicked a couple, looked dangerous at times. I think, mainly for his aerial presence there. Bleeding marker for us. And now Zach Guthrie's going to be going, what about me? And, got a few clearances, total clearances. I was going to say tackles, but that'll be T for tackle. Got a goal assist as well, played the full game. It was solid. He's a little bit lazy at times. But I suppose he had to go at it. The one vote, I'll give it to Gary Rowan and Zach Guthrie. Combined get the vote. No, if I'm picking, I'll go Gary Rowan. Just, I've definitely gone the goals here. It was in the back line a fair bit. Thought Rowan's presence was, really good. Kicked a couple, which was nice to see. His pressure was really good. Only shows like one tackle, but yeah, going in the air, he was pretty handy with 5 marks and just, yeah, he's chasing and all that good stuff up. Yeah, he definitely had a bit of a purple patch in that second or third term where he sort of switched it on. It was a tough night for votes. There was lots of players that had 6 out of 10 sort of games. Yeah, played in patches, and probably there was no one that was really a stand-up. I mean, yeah, 22 is the most in terms of disposals. Quite a low disposal game if you really look at it. But we'll go through the rest. Ollie Henry, in his debut game for the Cats, kicked a couple. Should have had 3. Don't know what he was thinking. He thought he had all the time in the world. Anyway, he got the 15 touches and took 6 marks. He was good in the air. Nice specky towards the end as well. A couple of tackles. I really like the way he goes about it and what he's going to be able to offer us and moving forward. Yeah, he's been a really good get so far, and yeah, keep up the good work, Ollie. Reece had an okay game. He got a bit of the ball, definitely. I reckon that would have been a contested mark as well. Plenty of hit-outs, couple of clearances. Probably not his best night at the office. He tried hard, but yeah, it was a tough night. Tui kicked 2, as my voice goes. Excuse me. Tui kicked a couple. The first 2 goals of the game, he was on track for the Coleman early on in the piece. Got the 18 touches next to his name, 4 marks. And yeah, look, he had some really good moments, definitely good early, sort of tailed out of the game, but yeah, definitely like that from a wingman or half-back, wherever he plays. He was good there. Holmes was pretty solid, definitely liked his run, got 17 and kicked a goal as well, which was really good. A long ranger, 4 tackles, a couple of clearances. Played a good game overall. May potentially have got a vote, but I wasn't very happy with the midfield, so I didn't get the midfield votes. They got pantsed, so I'm not giving the midfield too much love. Out of all that. Tommy Atkins kicked a goal, 21 touches, 4 tackles, 5 clearances. He was he's always in and under. He was tough. Chance for a vote. Didn't quite cut the mustard this week, but yeah, he always has a crack, and definitely when it was tough, he was right at the forefront there. But yeah, I'm not loving the midfield and how that all panned out, unfortunately. Although the singles game was good, he got a fair bit of the ball, 17 touches, a couple of goals. Got a tackle in there, goal assist. Yeah, statistically a pretty good game, and he was dangerous and courageous, as we saw with Howe. Somehow was okay, and not too bad in the end. But yeah, Stengel always handy up forward. Danger, again, he was, statistically okay. Kicked a goal, a lot of handballs in there. Pretty good in the clinches there with 6 clearances. I was a bit frustrated with some of his ball use. Doesn't run super hard defensively when it's not going amazingly well. Been a little bit tough there on Patrick, but yeah, definitely wasn't grand final Paddy, and we don't want grand final Paddy in round 1, I guess. But also need to bank some early wins to be able to allow us to rest players throughout the year. So it's a fine balance between playing your best, right at the very start of the equation. O'Connor was okay, got a bit of the ball, 15, 4 tackles, was okay down back, but yeah, there was a lot going on down back. Bruins game was good. First game for the Cats, got 17, 4 tackles. I think, he was on the bench for a fair bit, as we can see there. So that was interesting. But yeah, like what he can do, and hopefully see him more in the guts, in the midfield, getting the ball out. That's what I thought we got him in the club for. There's a fair few numbers go through the midfield though. Zach Guthrie, Z was good, all considering what was going on down back. Lots of entry, lots of supply. 12 touches, 7 marks, 2 tackles. I thought, he played well. Had a good crack at it. Hawk kicked 2 goals, 4 marks, 11 touches. Got some hit-outs in there, a couple of goals. So, at the game, I didn't feel like he did a lot, but, when you look at the sheet there, he played okay. Probably had portions where he wasn't super involved, but not too bad considering the foot injuries come back from. So he'll come good in time. Blitzarv's got 13, and we've got a few marks and tackles, some clearances. Didn't get a lot of meterage gain, but yeah, he doesn't mind a bit of a handball. Yeah, look, he was okay, and again, probably better for the run pretty soon. But yeah, Myers from the Cats got a couple of points, 19 touches, 5 marks, 3 goal assists is pretty good actually. Yeah, throughout the night he was good. I think, yeah, I probably haven't given him too much credit towards the end of the night where he sort of, I don't know, did some silly stuff, but everyone was doing some silly stuff at the end. Cam Guthrie might need to get the hair back. Yeah, the long locks. He wasn't quite himself. 15 and 4 tackles, 3 clearances. Just usually racks up a lot more of the ball. Pies midfield, super hungry. Just wasn't quite his night. Close was really quiet. I didn't see a lot of Bradley, who I love dearly. Got a few behinds next to his name, 10 touches, 4 tackles, good holding the ball. One in the middle there, which was great to see. Again, hopefully we know he's better than that, and I'm sure we'll see better footy from him. Buse looked a bit slow and sluggish. He had some good runs at times. The smalls definitely gave us some issues, but yeah, he was solid. Definitely, not his best night, and I feel like I've said that for a lot of players, which to lose by 22 points, and a lot of players playing in patches and not playing their best games, I'll take that. Radically was really good. I must admit, I've been one of his tougher critics, but I like what he did. He got 6 touches, 4 marks. He doesn't get a lot of the ball, but does a lot of spoiling and sort of neutralising the footy. He made some silly errors early. We're going to see that. It's only his second or third game at AFL level at fullback, as my voice goes again. A bit of shouting last night at the game. But, yeah, look, we'll persist with him. There's some stocks that are out at the moment as we go to those stocks right now. But, yeah, radically his game, outside of those couple of mistakes, which he's going to make those mistakes from time to time. Also, you have to have better support from the midfield so you don't make those silly mistakes as well. One on the wing was sort of careless. The one-on-one with McStay, not ideal. But I think it could have been, a bit more disastrous if he had not been out there. Over to SDK. Really quiet. Obviously injured, didn't help. Came back on, wasn't right. But I don't believe that there was more risk to the injury that he did have. He just had to sort of just rock up basically and just stand there so that they didn't have a free player basically. Because I think Stewart was subbed out with Parfitt. Speaking of which, Parfitt, 5 touches, 41% time on ground, doesn't seem about right. So that probably explains a little bit. But yeah, I don't know about Parfitt at AFL level, honestly. Maybe we could have a look at Cooper Wide or another player. Honestly, if Parfitt's not getting the ball, he's a bit of a liability, I think. Without being too critical. He was definitely hungry in some games late last year. And maybe it's round 1 cobwebs, but even still, we need some speed and some zip, in that midfield. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be writing players off, but just a little warning early on. He's on my watch list, Parfitt. We'll see how he goes. We won't kick him out after 1 round, but if it's a pattern, then give someone else a crack. Probably don't put in Clark just yet, but Cooper Wide or another player that's keen to play and give us some burst, speed, and energy and zip. Because he does have a few deficiencies in his game. Like he doesn't use the ball that well. He can fumble it. He's slow if he doesn't get the ball. So bit to consider. Just a Carrow's arrow early on in the piece. Stewart out of the game very early with an injury, possibly knee. We'll see what the outlook looks like on that. Hopefully he's all right though. We'll see how it all pans out, and hopefully it's not too drastic because that would be massive. One of our most important players. I think that's it. I've definitely gone a fair bit into this review. But, yeah, philosophically, not the end of the world. Clearly, it's round 1, so yeah, I'll take the qualifying final win over a round 1 loss. So yeah, but definitely want to get back on the winners list. 0-2 is pretty hard to come back from, make finals and that kind of stuff, and it can potentially fall apart pretty quickly if you sort of start the season off a bit shaky. Need that confidence early. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get back to some better footy, and I'm sure the whole side believes that too, and Scotty and everyone at the Cats. So yeah, down by 22 points, down but not out yet. Long season, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, if you win round 1 or don't win round 1, not the end of the world. Stats might say otherwise, but yeah, hopefully a little speed hump along the way to hopefully another finals campaign, see how it all pans out. Guys, so that's a review from me. I hope you enjoyed the review. Give it a like, subscribe away, all of that amazing stuff. Plenty of footy content coming your way, so make sure you click the bell as well to stay up to speed with all the videos I've got coming out. So without further ado, guys, I will sign off. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.